Come to me, my children. Follow the sound of my voice to receive thy blessings. Unburden yourself.
Ow, 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 ow.
And welcome to the Church of Last Resort with the Dr. Rev Jelly Rolle. The Church of Last Resort, where your prayers are heard, your sins forgiven, and no matter what you believe, you won't believe this shit. And now, the Reverend, the Dr. Rev Jelly Rolle.
Good morning, brothers and sisters. A good, blessed morning. I welcome you today, September 29th. It's a blessed Sunday. This is our 48th episode. You know what that means? Not a damn thing. I just want to say that because it was topic of conversation earlier. Somewhere someone's going, I can't believe that motherfucker lasted 48 episodes. And that's okay. Yes, indeed. So good morning, brothers and sisters. And this includes our new members, if you're new, who may be joining us for the first time. That's what new means. Sinuses, sorry about that. Didn't mean to cough in your ear. Was that your ear or mine? I don't know. So first time, wherever you may be and wherever you want to be, because you may not be where you want to be, but there you are. Amen. Truer words have never been spoken. Maybe there has been. I don't know. I don't know all the words that have been spoken. I'm just being presumptuous. I'm not assuming, because when you assume, you know what that means. But when you're presumptuous, go ahead, fuck with that one if you want. See, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, be a smart ass. Yeah, when you're presumptuous, that's right. I'll be back to you tomorrow. You keep working on that. Welcome to the Church of Last Resort. I am the Dr. Rev Jelly Rolle, PhD, DDS, ADHD, MCMLIX. People have called me the Racy Reverend, the pervert pastor, the vile vulgar vicar of vice, the sexy shepherd, the missionary man, the dirty deacon of doggy style, the frisky friar, the ass man abbot, that booty banging brother, and that nasty N-word. Oh, yes, indeed. I've been called that many times. Just today. That's right. And the point is that I come by many names and by many methods, but I do not come easy. That's right. So children, let us begin as always in the name of George Carlin, Robin Williams, and Richard Pryor. Can I get a fuck? Yeah. Fuck yeah. Fuck yes. Yes. You can never have too many fucks and yes. And when you put them together, that's double the fun. It's better than chewing gum. That's right. So brothers and sisters, before we begin with our opening prayers, please heed to this disclaimer. It is time for our opening prayers. If you or someone you know is in need of a prayer by the Dr. Rev Jelly Rolle, please send your request for a prayer, a healing, forgiveness, or any such request to me at that scroll right there, Dr. Rev Jelly Rolle at gmail.com. That's right. Please remember to spell roll with an E on the end. Otherwise, that other nasty jelly roll, who's not me, will wind up with your request. And he's not going to pay any attention to your request. He doesn't give a shit about you. He doesn't even know who you are. But I love you. And I wish you peace and blessings all the time. He just wish you'd buy his next record. I don't even have a next record. There you go. Now for the real disclaimer. While all prayers are heard, not all prayers are answered when we want them to be. Some loopholes and restrictions may apply. So, children, if you could please bow your heads, unless you're driving your car or your significant other. Because if you're driving your car and you bow your head, you could hit the steering wheel. If you're driving your significant other and you bow your head, don't know what you hit, because it depends on the position you're in. You know, if you're a missionary, you could hit heads. You know, you like reverse cowgirl, you could like hit a foot or a knee or a headboard. I'm just saying, so you don't have to bow your head in that instance. Okay. And if that is the case, just close your eyes. Okay. And let Jesus do the driving. Okay. Let Jesus take the wheel or the heel. Again, depends on the position you're in. That's what I'm talking about. Lord have mercy. Dear Lord, please bless our sister, Catherine Crosby. That's right. The renowned Hollywood actor, singer, and widow of Bing Crosby. Most people know her because she's the widow of Bing Crosby. As a matter of fact, I saw the movie she was in, and all of a sudden, now that she's dead, I go, shit, that was her? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So they put that in reverse order. It should be widow of Bing Crosby. Oh, yeah, and she acted and sang. Like, I have a list of some of the movies she was in. Well, I'll get back to that. She died Friday, not this past Friday, but a week ago Friday, I think. Yeah, like I missed it. Well, at any rate, let's just say Friday, a Good Friday, not for her, but a Good Friday. And she died due to natural causes in her home in Hillsborough, California. She was 90, okay? And I believe the cause of death was natural causes. I believe. I'm not certain. But Catherine starred in over 20 films throughout her career, including notable titles like The Seventh Voyage of Sinbad. You remember The Seventh Voyage of Sinbad with all the claymation and stop motion stuff with the little monsters that moved like this. And they were like the badass super effects back before we had badass super effects. She was in Anatomy of a Murder, Operation Madball, and a movie called The Wild Party. Now, the Wild Party is their Wild Party. It's pretty tame by today's standards, okay? We went all the way from their Wild Party to Eyes Wide Shut to whatever the fuck Sean Diddy is doing. Matter of fact, Sean has set a new standard for what a Wild Party is. They call it Diddy-geddon, like as in Diddy getting his freak off? Yes, he is. Yes, he did. Can I get some forgiveness for mentioning Catherine Crosby in the same sentence as Sean Combs? I am so sorry, Lord. The point is that it says she's a singer. I don't know any of her songs, okay? I didn't even look because why? So there we go. Rest in peace, Sister Catherine Crosby. Dear Lord, please bless Sister Dame Maggie Smith, that trailblazing British actress best known for her starring roles in Harry Potter, Downton Abbey, and Sister Act. She's died at the age of 89. Her two sons, Chris and Toby, actually, I should say the last names because they got two different last names, two different husbands. She's been married at least, they're not bastards, is what I'm saying. Chris Larkin and Toby Stevens, they're not bastards. She was married to their husband. Their fathers, not the husbands. They could have husbands, but she's not married to them. She's married to one of their fathers. Fuck it. Move on. We'll do it live. So the two of them let everybody know that she died Friday, 2 days ago, at a London hospital surrounded by family and friends. Her cause of death was undisclosed. That's right. Or is undisclosed. It's still her cause of death. Now, at the risk of sounding like a broken record, why are people still surrounding themselves with family and friends when they're sick? You know that just leads to death, right? You're sick, you're in the hospital, you got family and friends, poof, you die. That's it. So if you're sick and you're in the hospital, do not have your family and friends with you. Prolong your life, is what I'm saying. Be a curmudgeon. Don't have family, don't have friends. Live long and prosper, all right? And to make matters worse, she died from undisclosed. That's right. Undisclosed. Untreated undisclosed. They just let it go rampant. They didn't even, as rich as she was, as much money as she had, the doctors did not treat her for undisclosed. How many people are going to keep dying from undisclosed? That and lung disease. We've got to find a cure for those two things. And we've got to keep the family and friends away from people. My Lord have mercy. Surround yourself with enemies. Enemies. All right. Dame Maggie Smith won 2 Oscars, one in 1969 for The Prime of Miss Jean Brodie, and one in 1978 for her performance in California Suite, which was the precursor to Hotel California. It was an expansion. They started off with the suite, and eventually they moved into a whole fucking hotel. That's right. Those of you who do not know your Eagles history are doomed to repeat it. That's right. Smith was named a dame by Queen Elizabeth II in 1990. Smith also won 3 Golden Globes, 5 if you count the 2. Okay, so don't know if they were golden. Never seen them. Maybe I think in Harry Potter there was a scene, but they cut it out for the children. And she had 12. That's along with 12 total nominations, and she won 4 Emmy Awards with 9 nominations. That's right. Can I get a sorting hat? Lord have mercy. Dear Lord, bless brothers Marcellus Williams. He was executed on Tuesday night in the U.S. state of Missouri after spending more than 2 decades on death row, as if being black in Missouri wasn't punishment enough. That's what I'm talking about. You know, I don't usually do the obituaries for people that are killed in prison. I don't, because I usually don't even care. The only reason why I care this time is because the St. Louis County Prosecuting Attorney's Office urged the officials and the courts to call off the execution. Now, when you got a prosecutor whose job it is to prosecute, said call off the execution, we think the jury fucked them over. We think the jury was biased. We think, matter of fact, we are almost certain, but if there's a small degree, a small chance that the jury was fucking him over, because he was a black dude in Mississippi, and this is 20 years ago, right? At least 20 years ago, before they became the liberal bastion that it is today. But 20 years ago, he was black then. He's still black. He's black then, but his victim, not his victim, the victim was white. Okay, but it turns out through DNA that the DNA, modern science, modern science, the DNA evidence does not connect Williams to the murder. In fact, the DNA was contaminated by the ADA and the police. That's right. It was contaminated. But the Supreme Court, the 6 conservative justices in the Supreme Court said, fuck it, kill him anyway. That's right. The 3 liberal justices, Sonia Sotomayor, Elena Kagan, and Ketanji Brown Jackson, all said they would have granted him a stay. So, because they're reasonable. See, to be honest, I have no idea if he committed the crime or not. I do not know. All I'm saying is, if the prosecutor says, hey, guys, let's take a second look at this. We think he's being fucked over. We may be killing an innocent man. Then put a stay on it. Look at the evidence. What's the rush? You can always kill him later. Always. He's not going anywhere. He's in prison. He's been there for 20 years. It's not like he's sneaking out. I didn't say let him go. I said, look at the evidence. If the DNA is contaminated, and the jury may have been biased, take a look at it. You got court records. Lord have mercy. Why such a rush to kill him? This reminds me of when I was a child. I was a child once. I wasn't always a grown-up, gorgeous, handsome minister like I am today. I used to be a very ugly child. This reminds me of when I was an ugly child and my mother beat me for something I did not do. And once she learned that it was not me, but my brother who should have been punished, instead of apologizing, my mother said to me, I'm sure you did something that I don't know about that you deserve to be beaten for that. This is what that beating is for. Okay? That's what she said. The beating was for that. So they killed Marcellus anyway, probably because they said, well, he must have done something we don't know about. Fuck him, kill him. Rest in peace, Marcellus. Maybe in your next life, you can come back as Justice. Just as angry as you are right now. Can I get a do-over? Dear Lord, please bless those 4 people who were killed in that shooting in Birmingham, Alabama. The police said it was a targeted hit. Targeted, but they don't know who. The police don't know which one was the target. See? So how do they know it was a targeted hit? It's targeted is not the same as aiming well. If you're targeting a person, get that person, don't get the other innocent bystanders. And I'm sure that the families of those 3 innocent bystanders are relieved to find out that they are not, that their loved one was not the target. I'm sure they're relieved. It made them all feel all better. Can I get a duck and cover? And can we please pray for all of those victims of Hurricane Helene? I don't even know how many people it killed. I have no idea. But more than 4, she's a serial killer, and we should be addressing her by her full name, whatever that is. We should throw that middle name in there. As a matter of fact, once a hurricane kills more than 4 people, we should give it a 3rd name. It's just and then retire that name so that another hurricane cannot use that name and kill people in that name. Because that's what happens. That's how serial killers work. They see that somebody became famous for killing, and then they want to do the same thing. And if we do not make an example of Hurricane Helene, other hurricanes are going to come along and wanting to do what she did and worse. All right. That's why the storms are getting worse. All right. Some people say it's global warming. Some people say it's climate change. I say it's fucking publicity. I say Sandy went through and did her shit. And then Helene says, hold my water, and did her shit. So we need to treat hurricanes differently than we do now, instead of giving them all this publicity. And Helene left over 1 million people in Florida without power. And that's not even counting the people who are trying to vote. They don't have any power there either. Lord have mercy. This is the worst disaster that hit Florida since DeSantis. That's Lord have mercy. So I just, one last thing, and I'm sorry. I can't just stop there, because we need to pray for those people over in the Middle East, actually all over the fucking world. And that's just it. It's not, wars are not just in the Middle East. That's just the ones we're covering. Okay. I'm going to tell you right now, I was blind. Well, I knew that there was wars all over. Okay. I just did not know how bad they were, because we've been focusing on Ukraine. We've been focusing on the Middle East. And a couple of weeks ago, I was with a friend of mine, and we were watching the news, and we actually were watching a channel that his wife watches all the time. And he says, can we watch something different? Because they're just repeating the same stories over and over again. And I said, sure, what do you want to watch? And we turned to the BBC. And in 4 minutes, the BBC covered 20 wars, and that's millions of people that are being killed by wars all over the fucking place. Africa. There are like 19 countries in Africa at war. There's like, and Canada had invaded Antarctica. I didn't know that. Mexico was taking over Peru. There was like places, people were dying, and I was so fucking depressed after 4 minutes. I was like, oh my God, I did not need to know all these people were being killed by war and all this stuff. I didn't need to know that. Can I go back to the regular news? Oh, fuck. Oh, look at that. Eric Adams is in trouble. Lord have mercy. Let's focus on that, because I cannot take all this fucking death. I'm just saying, let's pray for all those people, and let's pray for peace. All right. And I'm not saying peace at any cost, because the cost of peace at any cost could be not having any people. And if we don't have any people, I don't have a show. So I'm not saying peace at any cost. I want to keep my show. But I am saying, let's have peace in our lifetime. Maybe by the end of this week. by October 1st. That would be a nice gift for Jimmy Carter for his 100th birthday. We could say, "Happy birthday, Jimmy Carter. We have world peace in your lifetime." All the good work he did with Habitat for Humanity. Now I probably jinxed him. He'll probably die on the 30th, and they won't even see the first. I'm sorry, Jimmy. First, I don't vote for you. Now I kill you. I'm sorry. And last but not least, finally, Lord, please bless the entire behind-the-scenes staff at Mind Dog TV. You're truly doing your work. They are truly doing your work, helping to spread your word throughout the wordosphere. I could not do this without them. Well, I tried. I really tried to do it without them. But, it's like masturbating with sandpaper. Yeah, it's going to be a little pleasure, but is it worth it? So I'm glad they're here. I don't know why I said that way, because I don't use sandpaper. It just feels like sandpaper because the Kleenex is so fucking cheap. It's not Kleenex. It's the store brand. It just feels like sandpaper. That's right. Tissue is not supple. But our friends behind the scenes, they could be anywhere today, but they're wishing they're anywhere instead. But they're here, and that's what really counts. MindDogTV.com, the place to go to get your church's last resort gear and all of your practical needs for life. MindDogTV.com. Just go there and get your shit. All right? Get your shit and get your shit together. And the more shit you get together, the bigger the discount. Maybe not. Just saying, get a lot of shit. Go there. MindDogTV.com. Support your local mercenaries. That's right. And now, a little bump for the Lord, because do the bump, do the bump. Hey, do the bump, do the bump. This is that time. We're doing a bump for the Lord. That's right. That's good shit. Going down twice. First you heard it coming in, then you heard it going out. Yeah, that's it. That's the way it works. It works like that. They say the number one cause for pissing is water. That's right. So, in the name of George Carlin, Robin Williams, and Richard Pryor, can I get a fuck? Yeah. Fuck yeah! Brothers and sisters, I got a good sermon for you today. Well, maybe I'll let you be the judge of that. But before we go to that sermon, I want us to hear a word about a show I'm doing coming up in less than a week. This Saturday night, I'm going to be at the Church of Satire in Hanover, PA. Take it away.
Brothers and sisters, this is the Dr. Rev Jelly Rolle. Come see Blessings and Blasphemy 3, an interactive comedy experience on Saturday, October 5th at the Church of Satire Comedy Club at 106 Broadway in Hanover, Pennsylvania. Tickets are $10 online at www.churchofsatirecomedyclub.com and $15 at the door. I'll bring the blessings and the blasphemy, you BYOB. That's Blessings and Blasphemy 3, an interactive comedy experience on Saturday, October 5th at the Church of Satire Comedy Club at 106 Broadway in Hanover, Pennsylvania. Remember, games are consensual and non-binding unless you request it. All other Church of Satire rules apply. And no matter what you believe, you won't believe this shit. See you there.
Yes, indeed. I must have been killing it in that first segment because somebody in the chat room wrote state-sponsored murder. I must have been killing it. Thank you, Lord. I love it when a good prayers bring good feelings. That's right. State-sanctioned murder. That's right. I was killing it. Yes, indeed. Now, the sermon today is based on the reason that we can't think. Sorry, it's called The Reason We Can't Reason. That's what the sermon is called. And I'm hopeful. I'm not sure I can provide all the answers as to why we can't reason, but I do want to break it down as best I can to help people out to understand why we are not as reasonable as we think we are. The reason we can't reason. All right. And here's the deal. Because usually when I think of these things, it's a spur of a moment, and I have like no idea what the fuck I'm gonna write about. I just like, that sounds like a catchy title. The reason we can't reason. And then I like forget about it, and then I say, oh shit, I gotta write a sermon about that. And that was, and that's what happened this time. That's what happens every week. But it's the pressure of being on live, because when you schedule an event, it says description, and you need to write something. And if you don't write something, people may think it's the same show over and over again. So you got to write something different so the algorithms know that you're talking about something different. Sorry. So this is what happened. Last week, I was in my local supermarket, okay? Now, I don't know how many, this may happen to you. When you go into the supermarket, they set it up in a way that they want you to go, all right? They want you to start right to left. Unless you're Jewish or Middle Eastern, then you start in the left and go to the right. Now, in some cultures, they want you to start at the top and go to the bottom. But most supermarkets are not arranged to go top to bottom. They're arranged to go right to left. And the reason why you know that is because the frozen stuff is up there, okay? And they want you to grab that last, so it's still frozen when you get home. If you get it first, then you got the frozen stuff, and it's getting warmer as you go through the market, okay? The only time that makes sense is that when you're going, and that's the only thing you want, is ice or ice cream or frozen food. You go there, hit it, and quit it, okay? But when you're shopping, you're going to start to the right, okay? And in our market, you go in, there's the fresh vegetables, and then there's like little nicky-nacky things, like things that are nicky and nacky, little things, stuff like this, little things like this, yeah, okay? And you're saying, what is that? And I'm going to say, this is two-sided sticky tape. You're saying, why do you have two-sided sticky tape within reach? I said, I don't know. Same reason I got Flex Seal within reach. Same reason. Same reason if I reach over there, I got latex gloves in reach. I don't know. They're just there. Don't be asking me that question. There's nothing to do with the sermon. Damn. So, you go into the supermarket and it's arranged a certain way. And chances are, sometimes, you're going to be behind the same cart for the duration of your shopping trip. If you're going to the same aisles and shopping for the same things, and a lot of us need the same things, most of us still need fruits and vegetables, so you go to the fruits and vegetables. Most of us still go to the milk and juice aisle. They'll get the juice, the milk, the tea, the eggs, the lunch meat. And so you're following the same cart, just like this. This is one cart, this is your cart, and you just like this. And it's not stalking necessarily. It's just the way shit flows, just like this. Now, sometimes you can get in trouble if you're with your significant other. Like I was in the supermarket. I go there with my wife Amona. My wife Amona and I were in the market, and my job is to push the cart. Her job is to push me while I push the cart. So just like this, got like a little conga line going. Dun 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 dun. Grab me a green pepper. Grab me a tomato. Grab me some green lettuce. Okay, so we're going to the supermarket like that. So now, going to the supermarket, and there was a woman in front of me. I wasn't staring at her ass. I was thinking, where did she find the cantaloupes? And it wasn't just, I was like, I didn't see the melons. And I wasn't looking at her melons. Or because she was behind, I was behind her. Couldn't be looking at her melons anyway. It was a butt right there. But I wasn't looking at the butt either. But my wife says, what you staring at that woman's ass for? And I'm like, what? What? I wasn't. But it looks like, she says, you've been following her for 3 hours. Like, I was not following her. She's walking in front of us. So you can get in trouble like that. And they could have like a his and her aisle so that it doesn't look like you're following her, but that's too much work. You just have to explain to your significant other that you were not staring at that other person's ass, and they just have to believe you, okay? But that's not the story I was trying to tell you. I'm just explaining how supermarkets work. I feel like I have to do that because apparently not everybody knows how supermarkets work, or at least not how the carts work. I was behind this one. I was in there. My wife, Mona, was with me, but she was in a different aisle. Because sometimes we split up and she does a little scouting, like ants do. And she goes out in the market like this. And I'm going through the rows to get the stuff on the list. I'm like going through the list and good morning, brother Ian. Better late than never. So I'm going through the aisles just like this. And I'm getting the stuff that's on the list. And my wife is out traversing the market, grabbing the things that, or maybe she had to pee. It doesn't matter. The thing is, I had to catch up with her later. So I'm going through the market, and I'm behind this one guy, and he's pushing his cart, and little tiny things keep falling out the back of his cart. Like he's like just boop, falling out the cart. He's leaving like a little trail of shit. Little things falling out the cart. Tangerine, boom, falling out the cart. A little bag of nuts, boom, falling out the cart. And so I pick up the stuff and I said, "Excuse me, sir. This stuff fell out your cart." He goes, "Oh, thank you." And he puts it back in the little top section. For those of you who know how supermarkets work, how carts work. Usually the supermarket carts, the size, the big carts, they have like the big area for all the big shit. Then they have this little part like this that does like that. Okay. It just falls out like that. And you can put little things in there, or you can take that little flappy thing down and put a baby in there and stick their legs through the thing. Okay. And then they can kick you in the stomach while you're pushing them. Okay, so that was the section that he was putting the things in, but he did not put the little flappy part up to stop the stuff from falling out the cart. I think you're following me. He didn't get it yet. And he put the stuff right back in the top, and he's walking in front of me, and he's dropping more stuff. I said, "Excuse me, sir, you dropped it, you dropped it, and I give it back to him." And then he puts it back in, and then I look. And this time I'm paying attention. And I said, "Sir, I am not one to tell people what to do. This is just a little suggestion. This is all this is." And this is, I'm going to use my exact words. Not exact, but it's pretty close. I said, "This is just a suggestion. You see that purple thing, that piece of purple plastic?" He goes, "Yeah." I said, "If you move all these little things off of the top of it, that little purple piece will flip up and stop all of your small parts from falling out the back of the cart." And he goes, "Damn, I didn't know that." And he goes, "I don't get to do this very often." Now, the man was about in his 50s. I can say that because I'm in my 60s, and I know a 50-year-old man when I see one. Now, he thanked me. He put the little thing up, and he walked off. And then I ran up. I had to find my wife so I could tell her about this guy. I said, "Did he not wonder why shit kept falling out? Did he not know? Couldn't he reason what that purple thing was for? When he picked up the cart, could he not reason that there were like 2 holes in the back of the cart? And if you put stuff in there and don't block the holes, the stuff is going to fall out? Could he not reason that? Could he not figure that out before he started dropping shit?" And even the kids, I said, take them to the supermarket. They knew that, but they knew that because when they were kids, their mother used to put them in there and put their legs in there. And once they got old enough and big enough that they didn't have to fit in there, put the little thing up and you could put more food in there. Ta-da! He didn't know that. So he says. But I saw him the next week and he was doing it again. And I said, "Sir," it was just a couple of days ago. And I said the next week, it was a couple of days ago. I said, "Sir, I thought we were," he goes, "Shh, shh, shh." He says, "I know, but that cute lady is behind me and I wanted her to help me out. I was trying to meet her. So stop fucking up my game." And I said, "Sorry, brother. I didn't even think of that. That's smooth. You are smooth." And we fist bumped and we went on. And it turns out the lady wasn't interested in him because she thought if he's that stupid that he doesn't know how to stop his food and stuff from falling out the supermarket, what the fuck am I going to do with him? I'm too old to be training a man how to supermarket shop. So it didn't work. But that's okay. All right. So he could not figure that out.
But why? Yeah, okay, he figured it. Why? See, why could he not reason like that? Now, part of that is because we're not taught how to reason. We're not. We are the closest things that we have to teaching us how to reason isn't even math per se. It's puzzles and riddles. I'll give you an example. I'm gonna show you something. When I was second grade, I think it was second grade. This is beautiful. I think I can. There we go. Yeah, got the whole thing in there. It's good when you get the whole thing in there, not just the tip. Yeah, it's a good thing. It's a good thing. So, when I was a youngster, there was this thing. Of a puddle, and it said, "There's a hobo, okay, and he's collecting cigar butts. He's collecting cigar butts. All right. Now, he's collecting cigar butts because he cannot afford cigars. So what he's doing, he's collecting cigar butts, and for every 5 cigar butts he finds, he can make 1 cigar. Okay, cigar. That's GAR. Okay, so every 5 butts, he can make 1 cigar. And then they tell you he has found 25 butts. And then they ask you, how many cigars is he going to make? And I can tell you now, the answer is not 5. Okay, it's not 5. Math says it's 5. Math says he's got 5 cigars, butts, and he's got 5 goes to 25 5 times. See, that's math. That's not reasoning. Reasoning is this. Why is he making those 5 cigars? He's making those 5 cigars so that he can smoke them, okay? Now, once he smokes those 5 cigars, he has 5 more butts. And with those 5 butts, he can make 1 more cigar. So he is going to make 20, he's going to make 6 cigars. See? That's the difference between math and reasoning. That's why people are having trouble these days. Okay? They don't know how to reason. And they're not taught how to reason. People think because they learned math, they're learning logic. No, you're learning math, and that's math. You're learning algebra, and that's algebra. That's not reasoning. Reasoning is how you use the things that we learn, okay? You learned math. 5 goes to 25 5 times, but he's going to have 6 cigars at the end of the day, all right? That's the question. How many cigars is he going to have? 6. Reasoning. Now, someone can help me find my eraser, because reasoning is not the same as memory. It's totally different. You don't only think you need to know memory, have memory to reason. But this is what we're going to try to answer today. Why is it that we do not know how to reason? All right. It could be a scientific answer. It could be a spiritual answer. All right. Now, if you are a Bible student or a person who believes in the Bible, the solution to why we don't reason is going to be because we're children. All right. That's going to be your reason right there. And why do I say that? Because a very popular verse in the Bible that a lot of people like to use when they think they're being clever is, when I was a child, I reasoned as a child. But now that I'm a grown-ass man, fuck childish ways. I think isn't that what it says? Yeah, that's what it says in the good book. That's exactly what it says.
almost verbatim. So, I forgot. Where was I? Okay, here we go. That's what people who are biblical are going to say. It's because we're still children. That's why we don't know how to reason. And if we just grow up, we'll reason like adults. Yeah, I hear with it. I hear it too. You hear that? I think that's called irony, because they're a grown person saying that. They don't realize that's not how growing up works. Just because you're grown doesn't mean you know how to reason. A lot of grown people did not get that cigar thing. All right. Growing up does not mean reasoning. Reasoning comes from practice. All right. Learning to reason comes from practice. It's when we take all the things that we learned and we put it to use and we apply it to real life. Okay. And people who are not used to applying things to real life never learn to reason. Okay. I'll give you an example. Another example, the calculator. All right. When we were kids, oh, okay, I'm holding it right there so you can see the calculator. You see that? Calculators. Before calculators, people had to do math in their heads. All right. They had to do, or paper and pen. I was something of a savant as a child before the concussions. Before the concussions, I was a very smart child. Concussions have a way of affecting the way the brain works, especially 12 concussions. 12 concussions. I had 3 from boxing. I had 3 from playing football. I had 3 from car accidents. And I had I know there was 3 more. I just can't remember how I got them. It's a shame. That must have been pretty, yeah. But I got 12. I had 12 concussions. Doctors, and for a while, my brain was a little bit kaplooey. I had trouble remembering some things. And over time, after a few years of not receiving any concussions, some of the smartness began to come back. I don't believe that everybody out there has had 12 concussions. But what I'm trying to say is, what I did say was that reasoning comes from learning to apply. Well, I was talking about calculators. That's it. Learning to applying what we've learned to practical things. Okay. When you're in school, they'll say, "Why do I need to learn this? I'm never going to use it." But they don't realize they're using it all the time. For example, perfect example, when I was in high school, I learned geometry. All right. And I was a pretty good student in geometry. As a matter of fact, I had all of the postulates, corollaries, and theorems memorized by the end of the year. I didn't even need geometry was one of those things where you were allowed to use your book for exams and tests because they don't expect you to remember the theorems and postulates and corollaries. There were only 3. There were 3 corollaries in the book. And I actually came up with a 4th corollary, a 4th one. Yeah, that's right. And it was so good. The corollaries is something that you can't prove, but you can't disprove. Postulates and theorems. That you have to go back to the geometry. But I developed a 4th corollary, which was so good. The teacher let it become one of the things that we could use on our tests. That's right. That's how fucking smart I was. You just don't fucking know that because you met me after the concussions. So I wasn't smart enough not to play sports. But that's the irony. And that's shit. I was playing sports because I thought I was so smart I could figure out how to play the sports without getting, I got hurt. Hit many times. But here's the point. Geometry. Most people say, I will never use geometry. I went to college and I was a little short on cash. And I was hustling people at pool and breakout. There was a video game where angles and shit, mattered. Big ball going like bloop, 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 bloop. And you got this little pattern, you hitting the ball like bloop, 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 bloop. break up. You're trying to break the bricks. I was so fucking good at that game. I could see the patterns, using geometry and shit like that, that I could clear the bricks with one ball. All right. And I was really good at that. Anticipating the angles and seeing where the ball was going to wind up, so I could have my paddle there in advance. Knowing where the ball was going to go. I had my paddle like, boop, there, boop, boop, there. All right. Now, a lot of people are saying, well, anybody can do that. That's true. But I'm just talking about that's geometry, and you're applying it. All right. Even if you're applying it faster than you can do the calculations, you're applying it. You just boop, boop, boop. Okay, that's it. So that's all it is. People don't realize that, but that's what reasoning is. So we need to get people. When I was growing up, I learned to edit film with real film. Okay, and people didn't have to learn those skills. They got a computer, and the computer says, "I'm going to edit for you." Even nowadays, if you want to make a blurb like this show is going to be 1 hour long. Okay. Give or take a minute or a few seconds. I can go through myself and look for exciting parts of the show, make really exciting parts, the stuff that makes shit exciting, go through myself and make a clip and put it out there. Or I can let AI do it for me. Now, AI does not know how to think like me, and we don't have the same taste. And the AI can create the clips. But I am not learning how to use the things I'm not applying the things I learned. And so I'm not learning how to reason. When I get to that little section, I go like, oh shit, that's a little difficult. How do I fix that? You don't know because you're used to someone else figuring that shit out for you. That's what it is. We need to go back. I'm not saying get rid of the computers. I'm not saying getting rid of the calculators and the cars. With my fucking car is so smart. Okay? First of all, when I learned to drive in a thing that was so fucking big, it was like a Noah's Ark, okay? It was a huge fucking car. It was a Delta 88. No, was it the station wagon? Doesn't matter. The thing is, you didn't have warnings on either side. You had to go out and adjust your mirrors, the one on each side and the little thing up here, the rear view mirror. Okay, and you have to turn your head and you have to look around. Okay, now my car's so fucking smart, I don't even have to look around. I look around because I learned to drive when I had to. My car, if I put on my left blinker, my car goes, don't go over there, there's another car. I don't even have to put on my blinker. When another car comes up behind me, on my right mirror, a little red triangle shows up, letting me know, don't go there, because you may not use your blinker. So don't go there. I'm telling you now. On the right, something passed me on the right. My car tells me how to do that. My car says, don't go in that right lane. Something's coming up. If I'm driving and I get off the white lines, the yellow lines, my car says, you're across the lines. If I'm sitting at a traffic light in my car, and there's a car in front of me, my car will tell me that the car in front of me has pulled off. Because it thinks I'm so stupid that if I'm staring, I don't see that car pull off. Now, here's the thing. You may go, shit, that car's pulled off, and you just take off right after that car. The car did not say the light is green. It just said that car pulled off. We don't know why that car pulled off. If the light is red and that car goes, oh shit, that's my dog. I've been looking for him, and they just take off. They think it's clean, it's not green, but nothing, and it's safe, and they just take off. You don't know why they took off. My car is not that smart where it says, why they pull off? It just says he pulled off. And if you're not paying attention, you'll take off right after him, not realizing that the light is still red, and that something can come from either side and hit you, because guess what? Cars move. That's what they're for, moving, all right? You still have to learn the reason. Even though you're in a car that does all that fucking thinking for you, you still got a reason. The car does not do everything. My car will say, there's an obstacle, you're getting closer, hit your brake. It doesn't make me brake. Now, there's a setting on the car where it will tap the brakes automatically, and people still have fucking accidents. A car that fucking smart, and people still have accidents.
Because we still aren't reasoning. We're not using the tools that we were given to think. We're not applying the things we learned to life. That's what's going on out there. We have to stop being stupid. Okay? But even if you are stupid, you can be stupid and still reason. Now I'm using stupid loosely. Dogs and cats are not as smart as us. But you present a dog or a cat with a problem, they can solve it. Sometimes the solution is they'll scratch at the door until you get up and you take them out because they don't know how to use the door. But they solved the problem. They got you to open the door for them. Squirrels are out there solving problems all the time. They're like taking their nuts and they're burying them. And some squirrels will go, I'm not going to be looking for nuts. I'm just going to steal his. And they do. But squirrels plant so many nuts and hide so much food that if something goes missing, they have a backup plan. And it's not that squirrels are smarter than us. They just learn from life. They learn to apply the shit they learned in life. Ants are not smarter than us, but they know how to work in groups. Okay? We just need to apply the shit that we learn in life. That's what's wrong with us. We don't apply. We wait for someone else to apply it for us. You sit on the toilet and you don't wipe your own ass. That's what it's like. Going through life and not applying what you learned is like sitting on the toilet and not wiping your own ass when you get up. Wait for someone else to do it. Sometimes that's necessary because you really can't do it yourself. All right? We have places for that. The internet. Fans only. That's what that's for, I think. I've never been there. Okay? I'm a new to Africa man myself. So let us get back to the point that I was about to make. And that point is I'm thirsty. I don't want to drink on camera. So we are going to do a little thing called a coffee with the dog ad, where this lovely AI lady is going to tell you how to get on coffee with the dog.
Comedians, musicians, songwriters, filmmakers, authors, and podcasters. Coffee with the Dog is booking for the
summer and fall
now. Get free publicity and hone your interview skill in a fun and safe setting. Coffee with the Dog is a live radio, live stream podcast based in New York that airs daily Monday to Friday 9 a.m. to 11 o'clock in syndication on iHeartRadio, as well as video streaming platforms like YouTube, Twitch, Rumble, and many other platforms. Guests usually come on remotely via StreamYard, like Zoom but easier, although occasionally we do in-studio interviews. The morning show focuses mainly on comedians and musicians, and they have interviewed many top names and classic celebrities such as Robert Klein, Mike Binder, Eddie Brill, Doug Stanhope, Steve Byrne, Paul Provenza, Jeff Altman, and many, many others. For booking, go to minddogtv.com/booking.
Yes, I'm going to be updating that because it's actually for the fall and winter. Our producer in the background was kind enough to put that in the text, but I knew that at the time this morning when I put that up there. I said it should be fall and winter, but I didn't have enough time to fix it. I'll fix it later today. I'll fix it before you see it again, before next Sunday. I got a lot of other shit to do, like I show to prepare for and shit like that. So let us get back. I was parched. You know what I should have done also was put on my Blistex because my lips are dry too. Man. Whew. Man, it's hot. Lord, it's getting hot in here. Gonna take off all my clothes. That's right. Gonna use my minister fan. Yes, you can get these church fans from minddogtv.com. Or can we? I don't know. I don't even know if they have church fans. We'll have to look into that. I'm gonna see about getting church fans. That's a good fucking idea. Damn it. You're a fucking genius. I'm gonna see if I have some made within the next few days for my show on Saturday. Maybe I can sell some. Maybe. What do you think is a good price for a church fan? Is it $5? You think $5 is too much to ask for a church fan? Just donations. Just say put a donation in, donate, and grab a fan, and just sit in church like this. God damn, I'm gonna do that. If I can. Hopefully, I can get it done within the next couple of days. Where's my staff? Staff, work on that for me.
Work on that. Thank you. I'm still hot. I can't put it down. I'm burning up in this place. Burning up. Burning up. 1999. There you go. 1999 for a church fan. That's what I'm talking about. There we go. That's why he gets paid the big bucks, because he's the brains behind the operation. I'm not smart enough to start a stream. I don't even know how to use this fucking thing. Every fucking week I'd say behind the scenes to go, hey, how do I do this? How do I do that? You know, I couldn't see the screen of the print on the screen. That's why I was always doing this in the past, because I couldn't see it. And I said, how can I make it larger? How can I make it larger so I don't have to do this to see the print? You want to see something? I'm going to show you something real quick. I promise I put the camera back. I'm going to show you about reasoning. I could not figure out how to make the print bigger. I'm not sure there's a setting for it. I was trying to make the print bigger so I don't have to move like this to see the print. All right. I'm going to show you something. Follow me along. If you get motion sickness, this is the time for you to close your eyes, and I'll tell you when to open them. All right. I'm moving the camera. See that right there? I put a magnifying screen in front of my computer so I can see the text. It made the text twice as big. That's right. That's right. I did that today. I asked our producer behind the scenes. I said, how can I make the text bigger so I can stop doing this? You know what? And this is only the 48th show. And I said, I can put that glass of magnifying thing up there. And lo and behold, I can read every single thing. I can read it all without doing this. I don't have to do this anymore. I can stop doing this. Yes, Lord. I know people saying, why does the Reverend keep doing this? Because the Reverend couldn't see all the way over there. I couldn't see your text. And so sometimes people write stuff up there, and I'd be like, I don't see it. But now I see it. I saw it. And the beautiful thing is, I can see the whole thing because that magnifying thing is right there. Right there. Right there at the bottom. It says genius. Yes, Lord. Genius. That's what I'm talking about. I know I'm getting excited because I was so proud of myself. I reasoned it. I figured that out. I mean, before I figured it out, I made a call to my producer. And I said, producer, is there a way we can make the text bigger so I can stop screening and doing all this shit so I can just see it from the other side of the room? Because I can't move my monitor. I don't have any place to put the monitor. I have to leave the monitor there. So I can't make it. Can we make the print bigger? I don't know. Let me look into it. And while he was looking into it, peeing, I said, if I could just magnify, and I went to my drawer and I said, I know I got one of those things. And I did. I had a magnifying thing to do with. And because I didn't need it, I just bought it. When it was on sale. So I bought 2 of them just in case. I said, I don't need it now, but I might need it for something in the future. I've had these things for 4 years. It was in the bottom of a drawer. And I just remembered, magnify. And I went to that bottom drawer and I didn't even know what it looked like. I was like, what the fuck? I didn't know what I knew what that would look like, but it was in a box. I didn't remember what the box looked like. And I said, what's this? Oh shit, there they are. And I said, I need something to hold it in place. I said, I got these little vice grips, and they're big enough that they can act like a base. And I reasoned, I put it all together, and I put the thing in the thing, and I put the little thing in there, and I said, bam, I can see the text. Go ahead, send me a text, and put a comment, and I can read it. And I don't have to do this anymore. Lord have mercy. That's what I'm talking about, reasoning. All right? That's why I get excited. I get excited. That's why you get excited when you see children. You've been around a child, and they figure something out, they go, and everybody gets all happy, going, oh, look at that. He learned that. He figured that out all by himself. Oh, good Lord. And that's how we get happy. But then what happens is, and the child, while they're younger, every time they learn to put 2 and 2 together, every time they reason and do something different with the knowledge that they got and apply it to life, somebody applauds, and the child keeps wanting to do it and keeps wanting to do it. But at some point, people stop applauding when something like that happens. They stop applauding when the child learns something and applies it. And then the child says, why am I doing this if nobody's applauding? That's not why you do it. You don't do it for the applause. You do it because it makes your life better that you can reason. That's why we do it. So applaud for yourself. Applaud for yourself and keep learning the reason. So everybody out there, whenever you take something that you've learned from life and apply it, like learned in school, and apply it to life, and you reason something new, applaud yourself, because no one else is going to do it for you. Applaud yourself for thinking. And then maybe next time in the future, you'll start doing it more often, thinking more often, reasoning more often. So, before I close, I want to thank all of you who have subscribed to my fledgling YouTube channel and Dr. Rev Jelly Rolle. Bless you. Peace and blessings upon you. And also the same name on the Facebook page, Dr. Rev Jelly Rolle with an E. Okay? Follow me on Facebook. Follow me on YouTube. Appreciate it. God bless you. You're wonderful people. I love you all. I love you all. Yes, on behalf of the Church of Last Resort and the entire Rolle family, my wonderful wife, Amona, my two precious kids, Cinnamon and Jelly Jr., our wonderful cat, Tootsie, and our dog, Stop Dropping. I wish you safe travels, and I hope you will join us next week at 9 a.m. Eastern Orthodox Time on MyDogTV.com and everywhere that our word is heard. That's right. Lord have mercy. Bless you, children. In the name of George Carlin, Robin Williams, and Richard Pryor, can I get the fuck of yeah? Fuck yeah! Amen.